Hi guys, it's Damien for another video. So today I want to show you how to actually test your app. So I'm going to show you how to use Rspec. Rspec is basically a framework where which will allow you to test your code, whether it's on. You remember that MVC or Rails. The Rails framework is a MVC framework, which stands for Model View Controller Framework, right? So with Rspec, you will be able to test all of those layers, models, views, controllers, and even services and other stuff that are not sort of related to the MVC framework, right? So I'm just going to, what is that now? Okay. Okay, I thought it was, okay, cool. I think that's probably, is it? Looks like it's different, I don't know why. If I look at my jam file, my computer go fast enough. Come on, man. Sorry for that. Come on. Okay. So if you look, yeah, there is no things for test, there is no stuff. But I want to show you how to use Rspec, so I'm going to do that. I think it's actually, come on. Okay, test and development, right? And then, I don't know why is it, oh, we're gonna, okay, cool. And, wait, I thought I was, okay, cool. Let's clear that up. Let's go back. Yeah, this is called Triage actually. This is project I'm trying to get on. It's an open source project, but we'll talk about that later. So if you go into cat and you run bundle install, then you will run that. Computer so slow. Oh, cool. And then you install Rspec. So maybe I can show you some example. Um, Well, there is not that much of example, but anyway, I'm going to write it. Okay, what is written? Running Rspec not fine. Rail, chain and rail. What do you mean? It has been installed, right? Uh-huh. Creating maybe. Not even let me run bundle update just to make sure. Okay, looks like some stuff wasn't updated. Looking at if I can see the Rspec stuff, but let me see in other projects how I used to. There is something I don't really understand now. So if you look at actually, yeah, maybe it's this. Yeah. If you look at it, okay. Aspect, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. So it looks like it's pretty much the same. The only difference is that I'm not specifying any version here, but let's try again. Unless it's already, because this will generate spec, right? So unless it's already generated, which I doubt, no, there is no spec. Come on, man. Probably missed something here. And blah, blah, blah. And me. Yeah, so should I? It's weird. What the hell? Oh, I haven't saved it. That was my problem, actually. Oh man, the file wasn't saved. Alright, so now I'm gonna do that. Should work fine. This time it should have installed it, I guess. Rspec something. Yep, Rspec stuff. Alright, so should be able to run actually this command right here. Okay, cool. I'm just going to do it on, for example, the model layer. So if you go into the documentation, not necessarily going to do it on, so if you go into models, so this is basically your data, I mean your business objective, I may call it that way. You can actually check what type of data you have. So in my case, if you look at task, you can see that task belong to our user, right? So I'm gonna close all of that because I don't really need it actually. I can close that as well. And if I go into, I think I have to create yeah, so I have to create a directory because I installed it later. Okay, so make directory spec models, then touch spec models. I think so that will be all right. So that will be task spec.rb, and if you get into that file, you'll have, come on man, okay, there is nothing. So if you look at that, for example, you can pretty much do the same. So okay, so this is requiring this file right here, oh sorry, this file right here, which is sort of the setup of Rail helper, I mean the Rail helper for your spec. This is actually the name of your object, so in my case it's task. You say that it is a model. I don't have anything to validate apart from, oh, I do have stuff. I mean, actually, yeah, I will push that a little bit because you cannot create, when you think about it, you cannot create a task without a content. You cannot create a task without a label. You can actually create a task. I mean, this right here should be false by default because when you create a task, I mean, it's not completed right away, right? So this should be false by default. So I'm going to update that and I'm going to change the constraints of this object. So, I mean, there's two things here. So let's get rid of that first. I mean, maybe let me show you. So we said that a task belongs to a user, right? So you can say here, you can put user, and if you run Rspec, I don't know how to run it actually. I think it was, I have too many things open right here. Too many tabs open. So I don't, yeah, here we go. So if you run that, oh shit, sorry. If you run task, you see that it should be working. Should. Never know, but it should. That should be pass. It should be passing actually. Mistake in English. So let's wait and see. Come on, man. So slow. Oh, you see, it wasn't actually working on defining method belong to. I think I have to add a bunch of things to make those helpers to work. And if I look into the Rails helper, or probably spec helper, I don't remember. Okay, so I think I have to add that. And before adding that, I have to go into the gem file. Because I think this is because those helpers, those methods are not belonging to our spec file, so you have to have matchers sort of should matchers. So I'm going to add them to my gem file. Sorry for me sort of I think I'm about to be sick, but hopefully not. Panda install okay. You can see that they have been installed. Then can get rid of that, and I can go into this right here and say okay, configure RZ should amateur should actually work. And I think I even have a sort of not better way, but like I think if you go into, I think in my private project, I'm not sure, but I think in my private project I have set it up properly with the controllers and everything. Let me check first. Oh, not really. I don't remember what project it was on. No papers, blah blah blah, foodie jam, Persian code. Was it here maybe? Might be. If you go there. Yeah, I have those matchers. And then I think in the Rails helper. Okay, I did the same thing. Maybe there. Not really. Well, I'm just going to stick to that for the moment, and if I need any further things, I will add them. So I have to add this line. So here we go. Where was it? Maintain. Just going to put it right here. after, but and I have to also include that. Okay, so now I think if I run my test, it should be working. Okay, so you see it was red before, and now because I did the configuration, everything is working fine. So a task belongs to a user, so I can actually make a call to that method. Now, yeah, I wanted to also show you validations. So validation is basically constraint that you add into your model. So, like I said, you cannot create a task without having a content in it, and you can't create a task without having a label. So I think I don't remember. I think it was validate content, and I think it was validate. Oops. Label. But I'm not even sure. I think there is more to it. Keep opening tab. Where's validation? Oh, it's probably validate something. Validate presence. Validate presence. I think it's like that. I'm not sure. Okay, so it's something validate. Oops. Presence true. Right. And pretty much the same for label. So basically, I'm going to show you label. So if I go into, oops, what's that? Okay. Clear. If I go into cat, I run Rails, yeah, right. If I run the console, I'm going to comment this actually, but just to show you. So for example, let's say that I want to create a task. So I get task create. What is it? Content. And I said fake content. And I put label. Which is fake label. So now, because I have no constraints on this task, on this object, right? So I can do whatever I want. So I can say, I can put, what is it? Completed to true, for example. And this will actually create the object for me, right? So if I do task last, I will get because I didn't save it, right. It wasn't saved. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. and I'm gonna do save. Oh, false. I thought, okay, so now I can't, come on me. So for example, say task, if I run task, I have that, and if I do save, false. All right, I don't know why it's false. If I force it, oh, because there is no user, that's right. So that's sort of not really a validation, but like another constraint, because you cannot create a task without having a user attached to it. Let's say that we put user ID to 1, for example. Okay, so that actually has created the task, right? And now if I do last, I will have the last one created, right? Now, I want to show you something which is different. I mean, not really different. Like, no, this is not what I wanted to show you. Now, I can actually omit the content and the label, and I can actually omit everything. I can just create a task with a user, right? So that should work as well. You see, just put nil and nil and nil, everything, everywhere, sorry. So if I do last, you will see this is a task that has been created. Now, if I put that and I try to do the same, it will not work. Ooh, oh, I know why. I know, because I think I have to quit the console to actually make it take into account that there is new code. Exit, run again. So if I do this will not work. See, roll back. I think there is a way to sort of show what's going on. Okay, so here we go. So it doesn't save the user or the task, because you can see that content can be blank, label can be blank, right? So you absolutely have to put at least a content and a label to save a task, right? To create a task. So let's say task 1, and let's say label label true or false, whatever. And now you can actually create a task. Should be fine. You see, it's working. And if you do that, if you actually do last, I think I have it, last, okay, last, errors, I mean, there is no point of showing the errors, because there is no errors actually. If you do count, 0, right? So this is what I wanted to show you guys. So now I added that, I added those constraints, and now I'm going to test it. So so if I go into this and I go there, I can actually use those helpers method to actually validate that a task has a content and the task has at least a label, and it should all work fine. And a user as well, which was already working. So if I run the test again, you will see that we are fine. And I think after that I will close the video, because this is what I wanted to show you. Okay, so my three examples are working, and so I'm gonna stop the video now. I'm just going to commit git status. Okay, change that, alright, git add everything, and git commit set Rspec and adds validation on task. Okay, action. Okay, push. Origin master. Origin master. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and see you on the next video. Bye bye, take care, bye.